Okay, well, good morning. And here we are for our Monday yoga practice down here in Southern California, which had a bit of water run through our area. We had rain over in the LA basin, and we had some sprinkles here in the desert, which is all a good thing. A little bit of snow up on the mountains, just a dusting. So wherever you are and whatever it is that you're doing and whatever time you're doing this practice, welcome. So I'm going to show you my props here. I have my little footstool over there. It could be a chair for you if you want to put a chair there because today's practice is going to include some core strengthening in the form of Virabhadrasana 3, the Warrior 3. That's where we make a letter T, if you might recall. And we're going to do different arm patterns with it, and I want you to understand the best arm pattern for you. Those who have a stronger back will be okay with the arms extended, otherwise at the heart. Then we'll do the eagle arms in the Warrior 3, and then we'll also do with the hands behind in bind, and that one is the easiest one for the back. So we'll be doing it several times, and then between we'll do some other poses. So we're going to start with some centering. So I have a pillow to sit on. You may want a blanket, or you may want to sit in your chair. And just in case, I have my beds nearby in case anybody comes mowing and blowing. So I'm going to take a seat and come to Samastiti. Come to the moment to just practice a bit of yoga for us. So yoga for you may need to be a little more physical. It may need to be a little more internal. So find your own path, do what you can do. And if there's anything happening with your bodies that is a little tender, you should take that under advisement and be gentle. So I'm sitting in Sukhasana. I've got my feet tucked under because they're a bit on the chilly side. You can support your back by holding on to the knees as you lift up your spine and relax through the shoulders. You can turn the hands up into a mudra gesture. If you need to, you can lean back on the hands. So bring yourself to the moment, but with lots of structural support. So Mula Bandha, the base of our torso, that energy that supports and lifts the pelvic floor. The action of Uddiyana, and so the belly draws in. Last live class I had, somebody asked me to explain a little further about the bandhas. So they are support structures of energy within our bodies. And particularly at the base of our torso and the lower belly gives us that support. So that's that zipper motion, and Mula Bandha is the root block. So those two things lead us to lifting the spine and separating through the vertebra and disc. And then be aware of the tension that you may or may not hold in your shoulders. So if they're kind of crunched up, that may have become your regular pattern. So see if you can kind of settle them down, wiggle them around a little bit. Check that your head isn't jutting forward or looking up. Just lift through the crown of the head. And then we'll take a few moments with our breath. So your eyes can remain open or lowered or closed. And you find your breath where it is naturally happening for you. So generally the yoga breath is through the nose on the inhale and exhale, but that doesn't work for everybody. So yes, you can use your mouth, but right now just be aware of how fast or slow the breath is moving within you. How sitting still may or may not feel right for this moment. You may need to kind of bring the parameters in to become still with yourself. The distractions of sound and mind can weigh heavy on us as we try to center ourselves and become present to our experience. As you feel the breath deepen, the chest, the belly expanding and contracting, really a more mindfulness of tightening the abdominal wall on that exhalation. So perhaps very small, but very meaningful and useful to most of our yoga poses. Go ahead and open your eyes open if you had them closed. Stretch the arms to the sides of your space with the shoulders down. Feeling unsupported, the core really has to come to your rescue. Raising the arms without pain in your neck and shoulders. Lifting your chin up a bit, looking more outward to greet the day. Noticing a little extension in your spine. As you exhale, draw the elbows back behind as if they were to come together and are not going to. As you breathe in, reach again up to that extended mountain variation, and exhale, pull the elbows down. Do this several times with your breath, where the inhale is up and the exhale is down. Let's do one more. And this time, bring the hands down to the sides of your mat. So I'm touching with my fingertips, giving support. Again, drawing through my belly. Raise your right hand and begin to laterally lean, bending the elbow of the hand that's on the mat, and the arm moves towards your face, not in front, so not collapsing, but opening. So if you don't go very far, that's okay. If you can go a little further, that's okay. And then we'll do the right arm again. So just the right arm. We'll do it a few times, leaning over and coming back. Breathing in as you lift and go over, and breathing out as you go down. Feeling the separation of your ribs and your hips. And this time the arm's going to come in front of you instead of going back down to the side. And back to the beginning. Other side. So you may not get to the end point as you begin, but little by little, as your body understands what you're asking it to do, it may respond better, or maybe not. Still using your breath. And this will be the one where the arm comes around in front rather than going back down to the side. So easy does it as it comes around. Fold up your knees, feet come together, lean back on your hands. You can take the pillow or the blanket off and just be on your mat as we let those knees gently drop from side to side. In this little warm-up phase of our practice today, you may feel more of your hips, maybe your shoulders, maybe your back. Bandha Konasana, as I sit with the bottom of the feet together. Remember, where you place your feet is up to you. Then transition your hands to your ankles or shins. My hands are cold. And then lift the spine nice and tall. So rather than rolling back onto your tailbone, feeling scrunched, lift up nice and tall. Kind of use those hands to lift up the heart. Then lean back a little bit, engage through the core. So imagine that you're holding this position without holding onto your ankles, but don't let go. Just imagine what that would feel like, and you'll feel the core, your back and your belly participate. Then use the hands to bring the chest forward in that hinge, and then slowly look down toward the floor or the feet. And you could just be looking, or your whole body could fall forward. Take deep breaths and feel the spine expand around the rib cages. Roll back towards your tailbone, curling in through the belly, broadening through your back. And then draw yourself up to that upright, elongated spine. Continue hinging forward, bowing over, rolling back, Sitting tall, hinging forward, rounding over, rolling back, sitting tall, last time forward, and rounding, and rolling, and lifting tall. 2 hands and knees. And I would be facing both ends of my mat, so you can position yourself on your mats that's easiest for you. So I don't need anything under my knees, but if you needed something under your knees, you might want to keep the blanket, the pillow, whatever you were using. So we come onto our hands and knees, palms or knuckles, and if the knuckles are better for your wrist, point your thumbs forward as opposed to inward. It makes a difference in your shoulders. So I come to my palms, bring my shoulders over my palms. The knees are apart under my hip bones and my toes are turned under. So there's a tendency to lean back into the strength of our legs. And I'm going to encourage us to get up over the limbs of the arms and the legs equally. So maybe using the front edge of your mat as a focus point would be useful instead of letting the head drop down. So take stock of how your bandhas are supporting you, the base of your torso, Mula Bandha, the action of Uddiyana, that zipper through the lower belly, the shoulders down, the spine nice and long and retaining the natural curve of the spine. Leaning a little forward into your hands until you feel your core fire up, and then moving a little bit back with my toes turned under. Doing this a few times, moving forward and moving back. You're going to probably feel more comfortable going back, but if you have some knee compression issues, only go as far as that feels appropriate. So working on our bendy toes, right? And then back to all fours. So I'm going to pick up one hand, it could be either hand. I'm going to turn the palm to face the other hand with the back of my wrist coming down, but very little weight on it, and then put it back where it was. Pick up the other hand, point the fingers to its opposing hand, press down at the wrist, and come back centered. So if I were to face you, I would be doing this with my elbows straight and pressing the back of my hand on the floor. And then just gently doing that so you feel that forearm lengthen it a little bit. So I'm not putting really much weight on it. If I can, I will, but I don't want to assume that I can because that's where I end up in trouble. All right, let's go back to my feet. For those of you who can easily sit back on your heels, most of us can, but if that's not you because of knees or feet issues, oh, here comes the mower. It'll just be a short while. So my toes are turned under here. Now I'm going to come back out again on my hands. Know that for this one you could be on your forearms if that's a better position for you. So I come back onto my hands. Let's slide your right foot back, toes turned under. Even your hips. So sometimes when the foot goes back, the hip drops, so keep the even. And this will be important during our Warrior 3, so thinking of the hips as headlights. And you're going to put your weight on that back foot. The knee that's up in front is going to lift off the mat, and you're just going to sustain this for a moment. Then set that knee down and drag the right leg in. Again, knees not together. Slide the left foot back. Pause. Make sure the alignment is good, that the hip hasn't dropped down. Lift up. Put the weight on the back foot, your left foot toe turned under. Lift the front knee just a little bit. The knee and the foot raise off the mat. And set the knees down, moving off of my hands, coming to standing. Try not to use your hands on your thigh, but if you must, you must. So try and put a foot forward and then stand up, and you'll face me. You may be at the end of your mat, which is fine. I'm going to face you, so I'm in the middle of my mat. So my feet are a little bit wider than my hips as I shift my weight from foot to foot. So we're going to do a little dynamic, a little more warming. I'm not sure how the temperature is where you are. If you have your heater turned on, I have no fireplace here. So I want that internal energy or chi. So I'm just lifting a leg a little bit from my hips, engaging through my bandhas, just rocking from side to side. Slowing this down a little. So I play a little bit with balance. So I'm moving and then I pause. We don't have to be doing this at the same time. I suspect we're not. Play a little game with yourself, like how long can I stay before I decide to go to the other leg? So building a little strength from the base at our feet, up through the spine, utilizing our core while still breathing, and then walk your feet a little closer. So I'm going to move my hips from side to side. This is cute, don't you think? So by moving, I'm kind of rocking my sacrum, pushing a little bit of bone into my hip joint. So now I'm going to do what might be thought of as deep knee bends. For those of you who say I don't do deep knee bends for whatever reason, I will show you the modification, then I'll be going all the way down to the floor. So as I stand, feet about hip distance apart, bandhas, spine, I'll let my arms float toward the sky, and as they lift, the reminder is that our posture didn't change. What may often happen is as the arms go up, the hips go forward. That sometimes happens, so just make sure everything is staying stable as those arms are up. So this is up. Here's one option for down. Bending the knees and putting the hands on the thighs, the hips going back and going as low as I can. Then coming back up through Tadasana, mountain pose. Hold the mountain pose as the arms extend from mountain pose. And then going back down. So my knees are bending. I may want to pause along the continuum, or I may be able to go all the way down and touch the floor, and thus the deep knee bend. Coming back up, finding Tadasana as I lift and reach above. So you can see where the breath pattern is going to be, but let's get the moves first. Going down wherever down feels appropriate for your knees, and then grounding yourself, setting that stable spine, lifting the arms up and breathing in. I'm going to go all the way down on my exhale. And all the way up on my inhale. A couple more times. If you don't want to go all the way down, pause somewhere along the way that seems right. And all the way up. And here's your last one, going down. Again, stop if you need to. And coming all the way up. Bring yourself into Tadasana. Make sure you have space around you as this one's going to twist. I have a wall behind me, so I'm going to scoot up just a little bit. Keep balanced on all parts of your feet, the toes, the heels, the outer inner edges, particularly for this one, because when we turn, what tends to happen, can I take your focus down to my feet for a moment? So this tends to happen to make that twist happen. We just want the ribs to float around the hips staying as best they can forward, and so you don't get the movement of the legs, okay? All right, so ground yourself, Mula Bandha, action of Uddiyana, lift and lengthen the spine. We're preparing our core for our work today, and then slowly turn off to one side. Ground into the feet. Now you may just face to the side so that one hand is forward and one is back, or you may be able to go a little bit further. Yeah, there's no judgment. The arms should feel like you're holding a stick, and that stick is not changing. And return back center. Lower the arms, relax the shoulders. So remember, when you're twisting, you lift and separate through your vertebrae. Get grounded, breathe in, lift the arms. Now you're going to twist the other way, shoulders down. Lift the ribs, float around. Again, holding that stick, so not one arm going back or hanging forward. It goes with you. And you just go where you can go. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. And we return back center, and we pause. So I'm going to move my arm backward like a backstroke motion, turning my body. Now I let my foot go there, and I didn't really mean to do that. So I'm going to hold it still as I go this way. So I have to be mindful. We all have to be mindful. So letting your body turn as the arm rotates. Pretty functional. So I'll do one more on each arm. Hold those feet still. And the last one. Standing cats and cows. So a little stretch of the spine. I'll turn sideways. So as I bend my knees, load into my hands, anchor my shoulder. I can go a little further if I wanted to, but I'm going to stay on the higher side. Three things happen. Tucking up and rounding my back, drawing my tailbone under and bowing my head. Then pushing my tailbone out, drawing my shoulders down. I'm not fond of looking up, but I might want to look out as I kind of feel that curve in my lumbar. Tightening through the belly, breathing out, cat pose. Lift and lengthen on the cow pose. And then I'm going to roll myself up from that cat pose back to Tadasana. And now we'll all want to move to the end of the mat. So it could be this end or this end. It doesn't really matter. I'll just go to this end. We'll do a little flow that will take us to the floor, where we do some planks, some three-legged dogs, some core with our knees, and that should warm us up to get to that final warrior three thing that I mentioned earlier. So Tadasana, mountain pose. Find your breath and notice how you feel. Maybe a little warmed up, but certainly not so energized. Lifting the arms in front or to your side. Exhale, bending the knees and touching the hands on the floor. Dropping the hips and lifting the chest and looking outward. Stepping your right foot back into that low lunge, pushing through the heel, leaving the left knee above the ankle. Hands very light upon the mat. Lifting the hips up, bending the back knee, pushing off and moving up. Squeeze the legs, rise all the way up, extended mountain pose. Exhale again, bring the hands down, touch the earth. Inhale, lift your chest, drop your hips. Exhale, left foot now steps back long, sliding, right knee above the ankle. Notice if there's a discrepancy between each side. Inhale, lift the hips and down. Exhale, bend the back knee, push off and step forward. Squeeze the legs, rise all the way up. Finish your breath, the palms touch. Exhale, bend the knees, touch the earth by the feet. Inhale, lift the chest, drop the hips. Exhale, right foot back on the ball of the foot. Inhale, stand with your hands at heart, palms in prayer. Push the back heel instead of letting the knees stay soft. It will feel different to your hips. Ground yourself, torso perpendicular. And then extend the arms forward. If this is difficult, cross your thumbs, it will help. Back to your heart. Open the arms to the side with the thumbs down. Crossing your right arm over your left arm, either at the wrist or the elbows, until the back of the hands touch or the palms touch, the eagle arms. Shoulders are down. Release the arms. Let them come behind you as you grab or lace those fingers. Straighten the arms back, lift the chest up, still on the ball of the back foot, are we? Release the arms all the way up. Exhale, bring the hands down. Inhale, lift the hip up. Exhale, bend the knee, push off. Step up, squeeze legs, come all the way up, breathe in. All the way down, breathe out. Lift the chest. Left foot takes its turn, stepping to that nice long lunge. Grounding into the mat, rising up and then placing the hands at the heart. Squeeze the back leg straight. Keep that front knee bent. Ground yourself. Extending the arms forward. Returning the hands to your heart. Reach the arms to the side with the thumbs down and the pinky finger up. This time your left arm crosses above your right arm. Bend the elbows. Eagle pose, shoulders down. Fly the eagle. Bind the hands behind your back, lacing or grabbing the hands. Straighten the elbows. Float the arms up, breathe in. Lower the hands down, coming to a plank as the front foot now moves back to where the back foot is and not looking down, loading into all four limbs. If you prefer the knees down, do the knees down. From the knees or from the toes, elbows in, lower yourself down, chest and hips land at the same time. Relax your feet. Baby cobra, cobra, up dog, and come down. Let's do it again. Baby cobra, cobra, or up dog, and come down. Toes under, hips up. Press away from the mat. Plank position. Lift the hips. Adjust your feet. We'll do our downward dog. Stand on your right foot, push the left foot up and back. Left foot comes down, stand on the left foot, right foot goes up and back. Foot comes down, raise both your heels. Bend the knees as you look forward. Walk your feet, step your feet, or jump your feet. This time put the hands on or around your calves. Lay the body on the thigh. And then try and straighten the legs. Bend the knees, release the arms. All the way up. This time with hands together, place them at your heart. So notice yourself again. So we just did a little bit of flow. How does that make you feel? A little more energized? So let's go through it a second time. We're going to be repeating the same arms, but instead of being in the wobbly pose of crescent, we're going to be in our warrior position, our warrior one. So the hips will stay forward as we do all that variation with the arms. So remember that foot for the warrior, the toe is on the diagonal, and the hips stay forward. Just a reminder. Tadasana. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, bend the knees, touch the earth. Inhale, lift the hips, lift the chest, drop the hips. Exhale, right foot goes first, steps back to the lunge, then go ahead and drop the heel. Ground the feet, engage through your core as you rise with your hands at your heart. So remember the lower body is a little different. You still have the knee over the ankle. The only difference is I've dropped the heel and I've rolled into my pinky toe side. So notice your core as those arms extend forward. Opening the arms to the side, turning your thumbs down. So this one will really tell you if you're twisted, your arms will not be out front. Cross your right arm on top of your left arm, bend the elbows. Draw the shoulders down equally. Release the arms and let them bind behind you. Grab the hands, lace the fingers. Straighten the elbows, raise the arms. Release, take a breath up, let the back heel lift. So I've turned to the crescent, lower myself down, raise the hips up, bend the back knee, push off, step up, squeeze legs, rise all the way up. Don't have to change, I'm just going to exhale, the hands come down onto the mat. Drop the hips, lift the chest, breathe. Left foot now takes the long step back. Once you get the distance, drop the back heel, ground into your feet for Virabhadrasana 1, and place the hands at the heart. So your feeling is one of your chest and your hips going forward, the front knee over the ankle, the back leg straight and rolled into pinky toe. Reach the arms outward. Open the arms and turn the thumbs down. Left arm crosses on top of your right arm. Bend the elbows. This is modified with the back of the hands, and this is tradition. Anchor your shoulders, because sometimes one shoulder might be a little higher. Release the arms. Rebind behind you, grab the hands, lace the fingers, stay committed to your lunge, extend out the arms. Float the back heel up as the arms rise up. Come down into a plank position, so the front foot steps to the back foot. From knees, from toes, elbows in, chin up, lower the torso down. Baby cobra, cobra, up dog. Come down. Toes under, hips up from knees or from thighs. Do the best you can, press off the mat and into your downward dog. Stand on the left foot, pick up your right foot. Put down the right foot, stand on the right foot, pick up your left foot. Arms and legs are straight. Stand on both feet, raise your heels. Bend the knees, sit back, look forward. Walk, step, or jump up to your hands. Drop hips, put the hands on or around your calves. Keep the body on the thigh as you bow over and draw together. Bend the knees, release the arms. Up we come. Join the palms and hands at heart. Again, notice how you feel. Okay, so here's our warrior 3, and I'm going to use the end where the footstool is. Now the footstool isn't something that you need if you had maybe 2 blocks, just enough to help you lower the chest. So it's my observation when I see people in person that their warrior 3, their body is more up and their leg is more down when they really want to be to a T. So I get that falling forward makes you feel like you're folding forward. But if you had blocks and you were to kind of use them to steady yourself, so you could be up here, which is a little high, or you could use the blocks to help you bring your chest lower. So a chair, the seat of a chair would work as well. So you're going to use what you might have available to you, and we're going to do that same arm pattern. So the first arm pattern will be the easiest one, and that's where the hands are behind, and then you make a letter T. So we'll do that one first. So as you stand, facing whatever you might need to use for support, Tadasana. Lift the arms above as you breathe in, and this time instead of the hands on the floor, you're going to put them on the seat of a chair, or if you're not using anything, you could just put your hands on your thigh to help you lower your chest so you feel that you're becoming more perpendicular. And this happens to be a pose that if I'm in person, I can really help people. I need help finding myself in parallel position to ground. So you can be here, or you can be on an object, or you can be on a whatever. Stand on your left foot, extend back your right leg. Now the focus of the right leg is the toes are pointed down, not turned out. The leg is not too high and the leg is not too low. For some people, the standing knee will be a little bent, and for some people it can be straight. Depends on your hamstring. Lift your spine without lifting the torso up. So lift the spine outward. Take your left hand behind your back, and if you're so inclined, also take your right hand behind your back. And see if you can grab the hands. And breathe. Release the hands back, lower the foot down, and stand up. Still a challenge, even though it's the simplest option for some. We'll try the other leg. Tadasana. Breath. Arms lift. We fold over. We lengthen our spine. Lift your left leg. Lengthen your spine. So rather than rounding, pulling up, using your core. Take the right arm back. Left arm. Breathe. Release your hands, release your foot, and stand like a mountain. So you may find that you have predisposition of feeling more balanced on one foot. It's a thing. So the next one, we will do the arms in eagle. We're going to be standing on the left foot, and the right foot will go back. So that means your right arm is going to cross over your left arm. Your left arm is going to cross over your right arm, like I said. I'll let you know when we get there. If you cannot get the elbows, so I move closer to show you, you can have them here, you can have them here, you can even wrap them. Here's what I know to be true. Sometimes a weak muscle in your back can cause the shoulder to elevate. So when you get to the eagle hands, draw the shoulders down. It will help give you more stability through your core. Tadasana. Arms lift. Bend the knees. Situate yourself, thighs, blocks, chair. Lengthen your spine so you're feeling almost parallel with your torso. Stand on the left foot, lift up the right foot. That remains the same. Release the arms, thumbs down. Cross your right arm over your left arm. Fly the eagle, hands support, step the foot down, Tadasana. Let's see how the other side goes. Breathe in, arms lift. Breathe out, bend the knees, touch. Lengthen like you're looking beyond. Stand on the right foot, extend the left foot. Open the arms. Left crosses over the right. Fly the eagle as the arms open. Hands come down, foot comes down, and stand. So the last one is the more traditional, and usually people approach it by stepping out, lifting the arms, and making that T shape. But we're going to build it the same way we did the other ones. Here's the option. This is the most extreme for your back. So if you go, then instead of extending the arms out, we'll start with them at the heart, and then I will say as an option to extend your arms out while you're here. And if holding the arms together is hard, here's your little cheek. Cross your thumbs. So we'll see how it goes. I may tip over. Tadasana. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, we fold moderately. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Look out. Feel that you're parallel with your spine. Zip your zipper. Extend your right leg back. Point the toes down. Bring the hands to your heart. And if that feels appropriate, stay there. And if you want the arms to extend out, go there. Return the hands to your seat, step the foot down, and rise up. Other side. Tadasana. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale, lengthen and get your core fired up as you stand on the right foot and extend your left foot. Release the hands to the heart. And those hands can stay there or extend. Release the hand, step the foot down, come to Tadasana, and as we turn to face each other, we'll give a little relief to the sacrum. And as you're doing that, I'll tell you a little story. So once upon a time when I was teaching in LA, the trainer of the LA Lakers basketball team was telling me, because he worked with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, a tall fellow, if you didn't notice, and he did yoga. And he would do Warrior 3, but here's what he added. He did Warrior 3, and then he would raise up on the ball of his foot and balance on the ball of his foot. Well, we didn't do that today, but there's something you can aspire to. Okay, let's bring ourselves down onto the mat. We'll do some floor stuff. Remember, try not to use your hands. You can do the cross-legged sit or kneeling, however it works for you to access the mat. And we're here. So if you have the chair or whatever nearby, even if you had your blocks nearby, I'm going to unstack these so that if I wanted to use them, I could put my feet on them. So they're not a footrest, but they're just a marker for space. So I'm going to come to my back, and if you have neither blocks or a stool or a chair, then you will be on your mat with your knees bent, nodding the chin. Some of you prefer, I know, a pillow to get your focus more out on the horizon rather than up. And then you'll engage through the abdominal wall with a neutral spine, so not forcing the back down, but a firmness through the belly such that I could sit on your belly, and you'll bring both knees up. Now, whether your knees are together or apart, that's up to you. You're going to check that the knees aren't comfortably coming in, making that back go down, nor are they too far away. So if I were to position myself, my knees are above, my toes are in here, but then I lift them off. Now, some of you may prefer to put the hands behind the head if you're not using a pillow. Some of you may need those hands here, but check the neutrality of your spine. As you hold, so you're going to extend one leg out, and it doesn't go low. It just, if you had a chair or a footstool, it would go out, and then it would go out. So you're lengthening your lever, which is another reference to legs. Now, if you had blocks, it's very likely your leg will go a little lower. And if you were not using anything, and I'll show you that option. So here's with the blocks. Touched one, touch the other. And if I wasn't using blocks, I would go out, and I would go out. So just keep that pattern going. The idea is to remain neutral through your midsection, not to feel your back overarching, but also not pushing it down and taking your spine out of neutral alignment. And let's give ourselves a moment of pause. So if you have your feet on a bolster or blocks, you can rest them there. Or if you'd rather bring your knees in, give that back a little break. Draw upon your breath, bringing the knees together, feet are down. Open the arms to the side, the feet come up. Push the knees outward, so instead of being close, they're out back to that engaged abdominal wall. And you're going to lift one hip and rock a little to one side. Pause, come back center, rock and pause to the other side. And come back center. So there is a moment where you stop. So say you move, and then you move back. So trying to keep the knees together gives a little extra support to your back. If you were looking for a little more challenge from this, as you rock to one side, the top leg would extend out and adds a little more weight to manage, and then come back in with the knees bent, and same thing other side, if the space allows. Careful your knees haven't drawn closer to your body. They'll want to do that when they get tired. So the alternative is just go ahead and stop if you need to stop. All right, let's bring the knees in, relax your back, circle the ankles around. Going into a bridge to open our thighs. So place your feet down. For those of you who have a stable chair or footstool, or if you wanted to take your blocks on the lowest side, you can do an elevated bridge pose, almost like a shoulder stand. So if I put my feet here and that doesn't move, I can lift my hips up from there. It's like having them on a wall, but that needs to be stable. So if yours is unsupported like mine is, you might not want to use it. Here are my blocks. I have my feet on the blocks. I position myself, scoot down, Karen, so I could feel my heels, Mula Bandha, and then I move my bridge pose, and because my feet are elevated, my bridge goes a little bit higher. And if I wanted to tuck the shoulders in and bind the hands, I could do that. So use the best variation for your bridge pose. I always tune into my breath as I'm doing the bridge, rather than escaping from the breath. If your hands are in the bind, you need to unsnug the shoulders, create a little space for you to roll down from your spine. I feel our back work today. Relax when you're on the floor for a moment. We're going to be moving to our side position. Depending on your space at home, you may want to turn your mat, or if you can look up and see me, whatever makes the most sense. So we'll do it modified to begin with, and then we'll do more full extensions. So let's move my things out of the way. I'm on my side. My elbow is under my shoulder and my forearm is facing the same direction as my body. My knees are bent, and I'll take the top leg out straight. The top arm, the free arm, draws across my shoulders to stack them and then reach above. So I'm not sinking, I'm reaching and lifting. So I'm going to lift and lower my hips several times, raising my hips up and lowering my hips down. On your last one, see if you can hold it up a bit. And bring the high hand down under your ribs below you. And reach back up toward the sky. Again, reach the hands under the ribs below you. And reach back up to sky. And once more, diving under. And reaching up, lower the arm, lower the hips, and go to the other side. So this is option one. So loaded across my forearm, lifting out of that elbow, knees are bent, top leg goes out straight. Draw the hand across your shoulders. Don't just reach it up because you're not sure where it's going to end up. So help position it by drawing it across the shoulders and reaching up. So not behind, not in front, reaching up. We lift and lower the hips, lifting up and lifting down. So next time I'm going to hold the hips up, take the high arm and reach under my ribs below, and open back up. Reach below my ribs, open back up, twice more, open back up, last time, open back up, lower my hips and go back to the first side for the second option. So if the second option doesn't suit you, do the one with the knees bent and the top leg out straight. Otherwise, you're going to straighten both legs. Tradition in yoga is the inner edges of the feet are together, and that when you lift up, you're lifting from here, but there is an option for you, and that would be if you took top leg forward, bottom leg back, so they're stacked this way on the edges of your feet. Tradition is this, but that's a narrow stance. I can make it a little more challenging. You're welcome to do that, or you can have them split a little bit. So as I place, 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, again raising the arm, and we lift the hips and we lower the hips. We'll just do one more, and come down and transition to the other side. So if you did that first option a second time, that's fine. That would be to have the knees bent, top leg straight, or both legs inner edges together. Draw open, and here we go. Lift and lower. Last one. And we'll come to sit. As you sit, separate the legs into a straddle. So a straddle for everyone is a little different. Wherever where your legs go, be satisfied. Take the hands, reach, and move the fleshy part of your skin away and find the sit bones. Let's use the hands behind to lift our spine rather than collapsing. Always a good thing to lift and lengthen. Flex the feet a bit, so you pull the toes back, and rather than, I can't do it, but turn your toes inward, you want to think of the little pinky toe going outward. So sometimes just sitting like this, opening up your chest, will give you the feeling of the adductors, and that's where we're moving. So you may just say, you know, just sitting like this is good enough. Now I happen to have a wall behind me. If I was smart, I would have, it's cold on this tile, I would have put myself against the wall so that then instead of my hands pushing me forward, I would have a wall to push me forward. But if you don't have a wall, that's okay. I'll come back on the warmth of my yoga mat. So we're up, and the hands behind is an important component. Let me turn sideways, give you that profile view so you can see how it really is. Not this, and more of this. And those hands, for some people, you're so tight in the inner thighs, you let go and you spring back up. So you may be today, or some other day, needing to keep the hands behind you, and then you should. So as you begin to bring the heart forward, maybe you stay there. Maybe you say, I don't need the hands, but I can go further forward. I still would like for you to have support, so nothing too far, too fast, too soon. So you use your hands to slowly begin to lower the heart forward. And you should be feeling the space between your knee and your pelvis. So if that's where you feel it, that's where you should. Some of you may easily lay out on the floor in front of you, or even move onto your elbows. And it's not a competition, but as you find your body getting a little more used to it, release and maybe travel further out. If it's too much, rather than coming out and bending your knees, bring yourself back up, and that will give you a little reprieve. So move into your breath and your observation, the presence of where you're attempting to create more lengthening between your thighs. Having mobility from the inside and the outside and the front side and the back side of our legs allows our hip joint to give us better range of motion. So it's all to the good. Check in with your bandhas, Mula Bandha, the action of Uddiyana, and on your own terms, support yourself and come up. We're going to repeat this, so don't bring your legs together quite yet. Instead, bring the hands behind, leave your feet where they are, lift up your hips and scooch forward just a little bit. So you lift up, ooh, you scooch forward, and then hinge forward again. So not going out to that point that you were before, but maybe getting close. So some people could do more if they squeeze their thighs and pulled the kneecaps up, but if you just stayed relaxed, that too will also get your inner thighs. So if you were just wondering, should I make my legs squeeze straight? You could, it's not needed. And then slowly draw yourself up. So to be respectful of the inner thighs, slip the hands behind the knees, rock back towards your tailbone, then gently bring your legs in. Oh, you'll never walk again. Yeah. So we're going to go into our backs, but before you go there, just watch for a second, because this one could be a little tricky. We get into the figure four, or the pretzel pose as some call it. The foot that's up and the knee that's pushing it in are going to roll so that that foot that's on top can actually come down onto the floor. The opposite hand of that knee holds the knee up, not pulling it down. The other arm reaches diagonally up behind you. So I will set you through this slowly, but sometimes people get a little confused with it. So we're working in opposition. It includes a twist. Move slowly through this, and I'll try and get you to the best end result. So onto your back. So you can do any foot on any knee. Just follow the appropriate directions for you. So I have an ankle and knee. Now the foot that's up gets pushed in with the knee underneath. The knee on top is held out to the side. This foot is flat, and I'm going to roll to the floor so that this foot can touch it. So rather than having the foot be down here, pull it as close as you can to you, and then roll over to your side until that foot, both legs will come down with the foot on the top leg. So this knee wants to come down, not yet. Push it away with the opposite arm. So if it's your left knee, right arm, or if it's your right knee, put your left arm there. Now the other arm is free, not to go to the side, but go up and back. So I'm holding that knee up. Sometimes there's a little bit of slippage, so adjust as necessary. Now that knee that's being held, now you gently pull it down. Be careful on that upside hip. Gently pull the knee down toward the floor. Nothing too far, too fast, too soon. It's not supposed to go to the floor. Release your high arm and let it come around. And you're going to take the top leg off first, and then roll onto your back. So we'll do the same thing on the other side. Opposite ankle on the knee, push in with the knee. Better scoot over, I don't have enough room here. So the up knee is pushed out, the bottom knee is pushing in on the ankle, my foot is flexed. You're going to roll toward the side where the foot is flexed to get it down on the floor. Then use the opposite arm. So if it's the right knee, hold it with the left hand. Oh, this hip is really tight. Then you use your free arm to not just go to the side, but go up behind you a little bit. And you breathe. Well, there certainly is a difference in sides, isn't there? So where there is that tension, as long as it's not pain tension, see if you can settle into it and let it find a little more space for you. So the hand that's on that knee is going to kind of gently pull the knee down. Nothing too far. Then your hand that's up over is going to come around and you're going to raise the top leg first and then the bottom leg. And you can either rock and roll and come up, or you can push your elbows down and get yourself a free ride up. So sit yourself comfortably. This could be sitting on your bum, sitting on your knees, sitting on a block, sitting in a way that's suitable, sitting on your chair. So let's take a few moments with our neck and shoulders, because we did a lot for our core today. So as I mentioned, when we do the eagle pose, it's not uncommon to notice that we have weakness in our back, and that demonstrates, perhaps you can see that the shoulder looks a little higher, so I have to pull it down. Or if I do this one, I have to pull my shoulders down, because they should be equidistant. They shouldn't be tipped. So let's see if we can address a little tension in the neck and shoulders by sitting comfortably, of course, Mula Bandha, the action of Uddiyana. The spine is lifted and you let the head fall. Now if you're very tight in your neck and shoulders, not doing any more than this will be fine. But depending on which way you tipped your head, you take the opposite arm and just let it rest in the small of your back. Or you can additionally take 3 fingers of the same hand and pull on the temple of the head. These are options, but this will work as well. Remain soft through your face and your jaw. Release the tension in your neck. So whichever direction your head is falling, turn your chin and look down to the floor below you, even if your hands are still where they were. Releasing the hands and moving your chin to your chest, looking down below. And slowly returning the head to the top of the spine. Other side, let your head fall, just the weight of the head. And again, you may have more tension on one shoulder than the other, but we'll find out. Relax through the jaw. So same thing, whichever way your head is falling, the opposite arm goes behind your back. That could be enough. Or you can add a little bit of weight with 3 fingers of the hand on the direction that you're leaning. Keep your face forward and breathe. Now slowly turn and look to the floor below that side that you're leaning to. Release your hands and move your chin towards your chest. Slowly right yourself. So that you can do anytime. You don't need to spend a whole time in yoga practice. You can just address your necks whenever you need to. So we're going to move toward our Shavasana, but when we get onto our backs, go ahead and put your socks and whatever else you might need on first. We're going to get onto our back and we're just going to do a little bit of crunching because I want to warm up your body so it just melts more into the floor. So I'll show you what you're going to do when you get there, when you're ready. Both your knees and your chest will be lifting toward one another. The hands cradle the head, not to pull the head, but also not to lag behind. So they're really here being useful. And it's hard to hold the head, I think. So 2 things will happen. Your knees will pull in, and then your shoulders will lift up. And if you did those at the same time, you'd kind of meet yourself in the middle, wouldn't you? Few more. Relax your head. 2 more. Okay, let's get comfy for Shavasana. So if your chair is still there, you're welcome to elevate the legs, spin and put your feet up on a wall, put a blanket over you, lay on your side, wherever you think is going to be the most appropriate fit for you. That's where you want to go for just a few moments. So we've come to the part of our practice that I always feel is important, and that is to give your body up onto Mother Earth and let her rest. So I got you all warmed up in your bellies. So begin to release the weight of your body onto the earth, the head, the shoulders, the torso, the hips, the legs. Feeling the weight of your body resting on the earth. Finding a natural cadence of breath, so not forcing it to be long or making it be fast like a fire breath, just a nice natural, but a breath that you're aware of. And become aware of the beating of your heart. The mind may bubble into its thoughts, but your practice is to push those thoughts away until we're ready to come back. So let this time be yours and wait for the singing bowl. There's the singing bowl and the time to return from that moment of calm and quiet, that time to renew yourself. And now we tune in and listen to some thoughts. So you can stay as you are, you can roll on your side, whichever feels best for you. And these thoughts are about thankfulness. Buddha is quoted as saying, "Let us rise up and be thankful. For if we didn't learn a lot today, at least we learned a little. And if we didn't learn a little, at least we didn't get sick. And if we got sick, at least we didn't die. So let us all be thankful." Doesn't it seem as if the people with the most problems are often those who are the most thankful for what they have? Facing a crisis tends to make us appreciate the things we take for granted. Our challenge is to appreciate what we have even without a crisis to prompt us. So our thought today, I will start and end each day thinking about how fortunate I am right here and right now. I feel like I've come to do that, and maybe you do that as well. The attitude of gratitude is a thing, and it works. So as you come and you sit yourself up nice and tall, and once again stretch your arms out to the side of your space, and join the arms all the way up over your head together, and then you bring that attitude of gratitude into your heart, and we share the word, meaning the light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Well, I'm glad we got to do this practice today. I look forward to when we can do it again, but you can do it anytime you want, this one or any of the other ones. So I'll send you the recording or watch for the classes on YouTube. Have a good rest of your week. Namaste.